Hello and welcome to today's Formula 4 Europe stream here in the lovely undulating track. Well, certainly this next part is undulating track here at Road Atlanta here in Hull County, Georgia. That's right. We've got the Formula 4 cars out. This is the European time zone, so Formula 4 Europe cars out to this 4-kilometer racetrack for some quite fun times here. We're going to have a nice, fun little session of races. So currently it's Rybred who is leading. Rybred just out in front of Train here. We have a couple minutes of practice as we have a look at Aaron, who's supposedly had a little moment. There you go, they're going again. Looks all good. Let's have a quick look then at Rybred. Currently on pole. Let's give that a quick little fix, and away we go. Oh, that is not the angle that you want to be seeing a Formula car pointing at, certainly not at the top of the hill here at Road Atlanta. Across the line then, and that's Train Raider and Rybred finishing their laps. It's a private quali, a couple laps then here. Damn, Arg out of nowhere. Not really someone you usually see popping out of the bag, but Arg just getting pole position by 7 thousandths of a second. Well, gold rated driver, and you can see why they're rated gold right there with that performance. What a tiny gap. Now, a blink of an eye is longer than 7 thousandths of a second, so that is absolutely fantastic. Truly blink and you would have missed it scenarios. Space Invaders just coming across the line now. Well, they've got a couple more corners to go, and then they're across the line. Let's see how they do in the final corner, just a little bit wide up the hill under the bridge now into the final turn, and across the line. Are they gonna go faster? Across the line, they do not go faster. That is P7 then for Space Invaders. Govinda is the next person across the line, I believe, in the McKenna car. There we go, Govinda across the line. Where are they gonna finish? They finish P8. That is quite underwhelming. They do have another lap to go though, so we will ride on board with Govinda and see just how he completes this lap into the entry of the S's and into photographer's favourite area now. This is the S's section of the track. Ignore the name tag out in front. We obviously, private quali won't be affected by them. Just watching Govinda now. The Briton just making his way at the top of the circuit, the opposite end from the start-finish line. Onto this back straight now. It's a really long back straight, fully flat out as we make our way onto, well, up this little hill and into the next corner. This next corner, infamous for me. Won't get into why I'm not quite fond of the next corner, but very easy to lock up, miss your braking zone and go straight on into that massive gravel trap that you can see out in front. Braking just at one of the braking boards, couldn't quite make out which one. Nicely executed, and across we go to, well, across the final corner and across the line then. And where's that going to place Govinda? That places him P6, and that is the end of qualifying here in Road Atlanta. Well, we're going to have a very short little break, and after this break we will be back with a nice little race for you guys. All right, well, just a few moments until we get going. Let's have a quick look at the grid for this next race. Up on pole, blistering qualifying there for Arc 30. 7 thousandths was the gap to P2, which goes to the way of fellow gold member Rybread. You can get your ranking in discord.beamgp.com. The Happy Dolphin then lines up P3. Behind them, platinum rated Chile up P4. Chile's going to be hoping for a better race than qualifying, hopefully looking for a podium. Train Raider lines up P5 with Govinda lining up P6. Govinda's been doing pretty good in races recently, so let's see how high up the leaderboard he can go. Iron lines up P7. First couple races for him. First race, I believe, for Space Invaders, he lines up P8. Up on to row 5 then we've got Alex P9, and P10 then we have Sunboy23, another person looking for a little bit of rating to be gained. P11 goes to Hagesight, and Emin, silver rated. Unfortunate qualifying for him. He lines up P12. He's also going to be looking for a little bit of some overtaking action. Well, that concludes the grid that we have for race 1. Actually, I believe that's the wrong way around, so we might see this fully inverted where the front runners on there are at the back. Alongside me in the commentary box then is Novena, and well, one of your drivers, Govinda, is well, at least person using your livery, is doing pretty good so far. How do you think this race is going to go then?
Yeah, it'll be at least interesting to see an interesting order to say the least. Was not expecting some drivers to be where they were, but I mean, it is still a decent result for most of them, and hopefully we'll have at least a nice race for today.
A nice race is what we hope for every race, but as we see, the drivers then are lining up on the grid, and we're mere moments away from, well, lights out.
We have all 13 drivers on the grid. We've got a new driver of Mono in the rear. I think he joined after qualifying, was not able to set a qualifying lap because of the way we work, but just waiting for the start lights to go. The grid is quite tightly packed here, Road Atlanta. A decent run into turn 1. I think we'll be flat out on this start, so it'll be interesting to see what carnage happens as we go on to lap 1. Racing Control just setting up everything. We got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 lights.
Oh no, Aaron with a massive jump start.
Rybread is in pit lane for some reason. Oh my goodness.
No, that's a massive crash behind. Who was that? It looks like, well, Hexite caught up in that crash at the back of the pack. There's yellow flags on the start-finish line. Who was that? That Happy Dolphin. Oh, Monroe. Red flag has been flown. Absolute catastrophes happened here at the start of race 1 here at Road Atlanta. Well, the drivers will be re-gridded again, and well, that is not what you want to see happen at all. We see Govinda in the barrier, and
a lot of carnage on the start. I think someone stalled and there's not enough room between each grid stop, and not enough time to react for everyone. So hopefully we'll be seeing something cleaner when we come back to green. So I'm assuming Race Control is going to sort everything out, because there seem to be a couple of errors maybe as well on their side. So hopefully we will see a better start from drivers who's still very poor from the rear of the field.
Right, well, let's have a quick look at the corrected grid then. As I say that, it didn't work. So we'll just have to have a quick look at why that has gone wrong. race control have called a red flag after some pretty instantaneous, wow, what would you say, shenanigans on the grid here at Road Atlanta. Hopefully it won't be too long before we get going again. Well,
yeah, it's again quite poor from the back of the grid, but hopefully this time will be a bit cleaner at least. We got 13 drivers all back on the grid. Let's hope for a better start this time. 5 red lights for the drivers, and they're holding for a while. It's lights out and away we go. Space gets a good start. Happy Dolphin a bit all over the place near the rear of the field. Train gets a great start already up to P. Side by side with P3 already. We call it a much cleaner start of this race. And Train in no life goes off the track at turn 1. Big crash. Now there's crashes all over the field. Space Invaders, Aaron and Emin also off the track. Same with Monroe. Off the track all at turn 1. I told you there's going to be some massive incidents down there here at Road Atlanta. But so far, Sunboy takes the lead, followed by Dolphin, Govinder, Chili, and Rybert, rounding out the surviving drivers at least, and the rest are scrambling to keep the cars on the track.
I think that's Arc that's just been shunted into the wall. Oh yeah, Arc is upside down. That was just a little bit desync with Govinda there. It absolutely spun them on the back straight, and that is not what you want to see at all on the way into the support paddock. I'm surprised there's no safety car called out yet.
I'm surprised it's not a red flag. It's over half the grid has been killed.
It's only automatic red flag if half the grid in the first 30 seconds. We'd be going for about a minute when that incident happened, but again, a lot of incidents going on all at
Chili
once.
seems to have spun. He's gone slow to chicane.
Can't find him. There's too many people with tags on their names.
No, Robert's off at turn 1. Same as Sunboy again, turn 1, catching all the drivers out today. Train comes out of pit lane finally after having to tow on lap 1. That will affect his rating, but it won't matter because he's already platinum rated. So, Dolphin in the lead, followed by Governor about 3 seconds adrift. Coming into sector 2, not much going on in regards to racing. Everyone seems to be quite separated due to the carnage on lap 1. Reverse grid doing its thing, leaving the slower drivers in front and possibly causing accidents that we don't want to be seeing. 100%. Turn 1, I did warn that was going to be a tricky corner, but I was not expecting 5 cars to crash out at that corner, if not more. Dolphins has a fast lap of 1:24.250. Gained another second on Govinder, roughly. Quite clear that he's going to win this race unless he makes a mistake in the race. But there you go, Chili, fastest lap from him. 1:23.8, but it's definitely not going to be enough to catch up Dolphin at this pace with 11 minutes to go, unless a miracle happens for Chili. We've seen Chili have a good run of form. He can recover well and is quite quick when it comes to Formula cars, so we will see what he can do. Maybe Dolphin makes a mistake somewhere around this tight and twisty circuit.
Dolphins on a pretty good run of form recently. A lot of people have been saying that they actually feel Dolphin is pretty quick nowadays, which I've been saying for ages since I first saw them racing, all those weeks ago in the special event era of 2026. But yeah, people are seeing Dolphin as a serious threat nowadays, which is great to see. Always loving to see more people getting recognized here in BeamGP. Sam looks to be pretty close to Space Invaders out in front.
We're definitely seeing a lot more of an increase of newer, quicker drivers from last year or two, because the others have decided to call it quits for various reasons. But we've seen now other drivers being the pace to beat now. You got Happy Dolphin, you got Chili, you have Train a little bit still, Govender a little bit too as well. But obviously you still got those drivers sometimes participating, but not enough to challenge for championships anymore, just due to certain circumstances. But
Aaron's had a
it's
spin.
good to see it's good to see new drivers back on the grid regardless of the pace, but it's good to see a new crop of talent peaking up and winning, I suppose.
Of course, for sure. A little battle seems to be forming here between Sunboy and Space Invaders. The gap has been shrinking for the past couple of seconds now, laps. It's now about a second. Was it now? Yeah, 1.2 seconds is the gap. Let's just have a look. That's an interesting spelling of Vietnam from the website. Okay. Bronze ready driver then for Sunboy, and well, he's just catching up to Space Invaders. You can see just a few car lengths is the gap now as we make our way into the S section now of Road Atlanta, the Horizon boards all the way around the track. Into the support paddock area now, we see Space Invaders. Oh no, Sunboy got on the grass. Where's he going? In the gravel? No!
That's him back to pit lane, unfortunately. Gravel can really end your race, just gets you stuck so easy, especially in these Formula cars running so low to the ground in comparison to other cars. So Space Invaders will keep 6th place for now. Alex has spun in the same place Aaron has spun not too long ago. It's quite easy to get on throttle early and just absolutely ruin your exit, as you just see from Alex, and faster cars ahead of Chili and Governor. Chili chopping the gap down to Governor. He's now just 2 seconds adrift. I was noticing Chili is about a second quicker a lap than Dolphin ahead. So will he be able to catch up in 8 minutes? It's unlikely, as he's got a 9-second gap, but anything can happen in this race. Alex gets overtaken, moves out of the way just to not cause any problems for the leading pair. Governor now nearly a second separates these two for P2. Chili on the back of Governor. Chili probably the man to beat in these races from now on. He has pace and plenty of it to give, especially when we're in these Formula cars. He knows these cars like the back of his hand, even though he's on a keyboard. But he's now just in the back of Governor, returning after a little hiatus from BeamGP. Back for a few weeks now, but will we see a battle of the ages here between these two?
Certainly looks that way as we make our way to the top section again. The gap between these two, 0.3 of a second. Govinda locking up his front right tyre on the entry to the long back straight, and that gives Chile a massive amount of slipstream as we make our way down this long section of just pure engine power as we get to the top of the hill.
Quite an easy move for Chile, and he's already gone by just because of Governor's mistake. But Governor will look to get back on the inside of the chicane, but will he have enough to break later than Chile? Chile takes the outside line, but no, sweeps round and keeps ahead of Governor going on to lap 7.
Indeed, a great move there for Chile. Very easily done there with the slipstream. New slipstream system, of course, with the new BeamNG update. And well, that allowed Chile to just shoot past Govinda.
Dolphin makes a mistake up ahead, I'm just noticing. Goes into the grass at the S section, so that will lose him a little bit of time. Gap between himself and Chile, 9 seconds. Will it be possible for Chile to catch up in these last nearly 6 minutes of the race if Dolphin keeps making silly mistakes of touching the grass where he doesn't want to, or being held up by lap traffic? We'll see in the coming laps, but I think it's nearly in the bag for Dolphin at this point.
the past 6 minutes, the gap between Chile and Dolphin's only come down about 3 seconds. So Chile's going to have to pull something mega out the bag, or Dolphin is going to have an absolute shocker of an incident for the gap to shrink that much. So we see Dolphin just around the outside of Aaron, who's really not giving up the defense here, even though he has blue flags. And BeamGP, blue flags don't mean you have to get out of the way. They just mean a fast car's approaching. They just mean you can't defend. So as long as Aaron doesn't defend the lap, as he's not going to now as he goes into the gravel, then I'm pretty sure the stewards will be just fine with that. But it is still not exactly what you want. 5 minutes now just popping under, and the gap P1 to P2, 8 minutes.
The battle on the grid, Train and Alex in the back of the field for P8. Train on the recovery drive. Alex, we saw spinning a few times, but he has given up the position to Train. Train a lot faster and a lot more experienced. Zomboy goes way off into the left-hand side of the track in the grass, and I think is stuck. Grass is quite sticky around here for whatever reason. I don't know what they're feeding the grass over here, but we don't discriminate on what they feed the grass in these parts of America.
Right, but then new fastest lap 122.7. The home race here for Rybread not often does for Europe go to America, but he's proving that he can certainly do pretty well. There seems to be a driver stopped. Alex seems to have had an accident. He's got moving again.
Once again.
Looks like
I believe he might have spun once again at the same corner. When I was practicing myself, it was quite a difficult corner. It's easy to get to spin at the rear and just lose the car. What is Eric doing? He was
massive crash there. That cockpit is mangled all sorts of different angles. That's going to be an extensive tow time and repair time. And dare I say,
he might want to retire, because he was in the pits for 4 or 5 laps I saw, and he will be right back to pit lane after that massive accident. Speaking of, Aaron spins around at the uphill left-hander in sector 2. It gets going again, doesn't impede anybody behind. But we also might see another battle for the final podium position between Eminik and Govinder. Governor losing a lot of pace this race. He can't seem to get consistent laps. He just keeps losing time more and more to the cars behind. So will we see Governor possibly fumble yet another podium position in F4 Europe? It is still the 2 minutes 20 to go, but 2 laps worth around this circuit. So we'll have this lap and the next one for this battle to happen. Who do you think is going to come out on top here, Matt?
Battle 4 with Govinda. Yeah, it's anyone's game here. Govinda, he's pretty underrated, I feel. He has the ability sometimes to randomly just pull a masterclass out of the bag. But Emin, he's more rounded. He's better off doing these sorts of battles and can win them more often than not. So I think it's something that we've got to look out for, and certainly something that we will be paying attention to. But I do think Emin has more of a chance of getting in front of Govinda, certainly with this long back straight and the amount of slipstream that it offers here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, of course, it's quite difficult to follow in the S section. The dirty air will really get your car and throw you off the track if you're not aware of it. But on this back straight that we're coming onto now, it is very easy to overtake due to the new slipstream. It's very powerful in these cars, and we might see Emin go for an overtake, closing in more and more. Just about a second separates these two drivers, but it doesn't look like he'll make a move this lap, but it might be next lap if he can keep with Governor long enough into the chicane. They go now. Emin definitely hungry for this position, braking a lot later, but a lot more aggressive on the car, but it will wear his tires a bit more, but I don't think that'll be much of a concern at this point in the race. I think the drivers will be knowing of their tire wear on the last lap here at Road Atlanta of race 1. Governor still holding off Emin for P3. Some boy goes off the track, the lap car we see in the red, but we do not concern ourselves with that. The battle for the podium is still raging on. Emin trying to follow Governor as much as he can through this S section. He needs to if he wants to get that slingshot on the back straight.
If I was Emin, I'd think about just staying behind. Oh, Govinda going a little bit wide. Then you want Emin out in front, getting the overtake on the, slightly worse performing Govinda. Just a little mistake. He goes a little bit wider on the exit curb, and that allows Emin to get a much better exit.
Governor goes in, and Aaron's on the apex. Governor has to go off, and he spins around. All because of Aaron's little mistake, and gets Governor stuck in the grass. That is very unfortunate for him. He will, I'm assume, have to tow Aaron also in the grass, not too far beside him, and that will promote everyone up a position. That will promote Rybread up to P4 as Happy Dolphin comes across the line to win. After quite a dominant race from him.
I think Govinda's not really too happy with that.
Definitely not. He was all out of his control. He could not do anything to save himself from having to go off. It was a car in the middle of the track. There's nowhere else that he could have went. So we'll just see what to look into that. We might have to see, but it's still very, very unfortunate for the Governor in this race. He was doing so well. He probably could have kept the position if he was aggressive enough in the chicane, but no, that's how his race will end. He will still end P5, but it's still a quite heart-wrenching P5.
Yes, indeed. Well, what would you say, provisional race results? I'm pretty sure the stewards might have something to say about a couple of these positions. Let's have a quick look at how that race has ended up then. Happy Dolphin wins after a fair amount of laps. A pretty decent 12-lap race there. Chile P2. Emin, a great little battle at the end there, ending in commiserations for Govinda P3, Rybread P4. Govinda P5, and let's just have a quick look. Space Invaders gets P6, Train Raider P7, terrible race for him, he's looking for a better race too. Alex P8, Aaron P9, Sunboy P10, and Arc 30 started on pole, started from the back and only made up one place. Hacksight then ends up the race, finishes the race in P12. Well, we've got a couple of minutes until race 2. Who do you think is going to be, leading?
Well, I based off that race, you'd hope for Chile to win, because his pace was absolutely blistering. Maybe even Rybread as well. Rybread qualified P2. I believe that's what the positions are going to be for this race, but if not, I still think either one of them two can siphon their way through whatever cars are ahead and make up positions that they need. But we saw Happy Dolphin. He was good. He was able to just keep his head cool. He didn't make any mistakes, but his pace was maybe not all there that he probably wanted. But we're on the grid now. What is this grid? Yeah, Arc P1, Rybread P2. Yeah, it will be some of the quickest drivers in this front. This is qualifying. We have 5 red lights going on now. Holding. As the lights in the way we go, not as long held as before. Good start from Train. Happy Dolphin's already in the grass, gets hit by Train already. Train loses front wing. It's going to be another pit lane visit for him this race. Arc on the outside, 3 wide into turn 1. Rybread hits Arc, and he's off the track, and he's off. And he's out of the race. Happy Dolphin spinning as well, Rybread. All stemming from that. What is going on this race? Anyway, back in the lead, Chile being pestered by Governor behind. Governor wanting to make up for the lost time in race 1 after that unfortunate finish to his race. Your positions are Chile in P1, going in P2, Train still in P3 despite the damage. You might not have damage on his screen, but on our screen, he is missing his front wing after that little collision on the start-finish straight. But these cars are quite known for not needing their front wing necessarily.
Some boy in the gravel at the end of the S's. That's a high-speed exit for him, and hopefully he can get back. Well, he's back to the pits. Hopefully his race isn't affected too much. Back to the battle.
Catching a lot to Alex, going on the outside of the corner makes it quite easy with the slipstream. Seems to be a lot of moves made with slipstream, not even into the chicane. It's already made before the chicane, so it's quite hard to defend unless you do get that slipstream back off them. Lap 2 now, 4 people in pit lane after race 1. Or after lap 1's chaotic start, let's say. Robert into pit lane, having to box after a lot of damage, assumingly. Space Invaders comes out, lap down. He is in the way of Governor. He gets hit off the road by Governor. He was probably may look into that, but I mean, you are not meant to defend, and he was kind of on the racing line, so it does kind of make sense in Governor's eyes. And to be honest, I would probably do the same, but this allows Train to get right up on the back of Governor, looking on the inside of the next corner. It's a quite tricky right-hander. Train makes the dive and quite easily makes the move, or does he? Governor looks for a switchback. He makes a bit of contact with Train. Train goes a bit off the track. Governor looking for the outside now.
Yes, a little bit of contact. Train does indeed get pushed right onto the exit curb, and it's now a drag race, 4-way drag race right down this massive back straight. You see Alex and Dolphin swapping positions at the back, trying to find some way past these two leaders. It's 4 wide into the chicane here at the bottom of the hill, and who's going to come out in front? It's Govinda in front, followed by Train, followed by Dolphin, and by Emin at the back. A great little scrap here as Dolphin goes around the outside of Train on the final corner. Chile with the fastest lap then, as we see Emin just indeed getting slipstream down the start-finish straight, and Dolphin's gone off!
That was very lucky, because if Space Invader did not get towed there, he would have T-boned directly into the side of him. But Happy Dolphin was a lap down already. Emin makes a mistake into the chicane, will lose time to this little podium battle pack. But yeah, Dolphin not having a good race too, especially in comparison to his race 1. He'll have a win, but at best I'd say P8, maybe P7. But back onto the podium battle. Train still in the back of Governor now. With Emin and Alex to an extent not too far behind. These continue to battle. Alex might be able to capitalise.
Indeed, Train behind Govinda down this massive long back straight. As we've said a couple of times already now, the slipstream effect is absolutely massive. If you get pretty close behind another driver, Train down the inside, well, around the outside, around this little kink, and down into the braking zone for this next corner, turns 10 and 11 down the inside.
Train makes the move quite easily, knows where his braking zone is, but he is a little squirrely on there, so it'll lead Governor to look on the right hand side just about. So this is a new fast lap of the race, but Governor sticks on the inside.
Oh, no.
Has to force Train off. Oh, he keeps it on the track luckily, but there's a bit of contact, little wheel bang between the two, but Governor keeps P2 for now.
Yellow flags up ahead.
Oh, it's Chile. What happened to Chile? He spun in turn 1. He might be yeah, I'm at lost for words. I don't even know what happened. Governor is in P1 now.
I was just about to say yellow flags. I wonder what that happened, as we have another spin by Space Invaders. Fastest lap by Rybread now. Wow, the whole field has been scrambled up.
Yeah, we basically have a safety car in sense of the word without slowing down. But Governor is in the lead for by Train and Emin. Top 3 separated by about 1.6 seconds. Which is probably the closest race I've seen in a good while. Chile not too far behind, but we know his pace to catch up. Train and Emin side by side. Space Invaders trying to maybe get out of the way as being a left car. Yeah, he will side by side the three of them, the two Haas cars, ironically, going side by side and turn into the chicane. I don't even know what corner number we are on. But Emmons still on the inside, but Train kind of cuts across, stops Emin from doing anything, but he does go for switch track. Emin inside, Train outside. Will they have a repeat of what Governor did to Train? But no, Emin's way ahead by the time they get to the exit. Chile is looking to gain back. Train on the inside now for turn one. Train goes down the inside. Quite an easy move for Train in the fast right-hander. Once again, Govender is capitalizing on this, gaining. He's now 2.5 seconds ahead of Train Rider in P2 from this little three-pack gap. Chile already on the back of Emin, showing that he does have the pace, looking all he can in the S's, but it's not smart enough for a move in the S section of the track. And we'll have to defend as much as he can to keep this podium position alive and well. But Chile, he has the pace, but will he be able to make use of said pace going into the very difficult square right hand? It's really easy to wheel spin. As you see Emin going a little bit sideways on the exit. Chile gets a better exit on the right hand side of Emin. This will lead him to the outside of the braking zone. We will see him take the position for now, but they're about even Stevens here. Side draft doing its effect and slowing the other car down. We will see, hopefully, Alex has spun from P7 right up to P5 now, but we'll see Chile make a move pretty easily up into P3.
Massive look up by Chile, up, as you say, into P3 at the turn 10 area, turn 10 A and B. You see Train Raider just in front. That's Chile's next suspect, person that he wants to overtake. And, a little look up there from the driver in front of Train, as we see Govinda.
Governor still holding the lead, but 7 minutes 25 to go now. We will see this battle go on for the rest of the race, but it seems like the afterburn has been turned on by Governor and Train, and they are starting to kind of pull away from Chile, or Chile made a mistake, but Chile's still going to have to make up at least 2 positions to get where he wants to be. But we will see in the coming laps the Prima livery, the totally not Prima livery for copyright reasons, still looking for that race win. He couldn't get it in race 1 due to circumstances. Now race 2, he will try and hunt them down once again. Dolphin back in pit lane, we see. Not sure what's happening. It's awful race for him, but we see Chile kind of in a little train, almost like a DRS train, followed by conducted by Train Raider, ironically enough. But we will see Chile take advantage of the slipstream down into the final chicane. Final probably overtaking spot of the track. And Chile spun! He's stuck in the gravel. That's him done. That's him done. He has to throw it to pit lane now. Oh no, Chile's down to P6. And that's a very unfortunate event. Chile says profanities towards Governor. I'm not sure what Governor would have done, but oh no, it's a tire popper. Chile got the tire popper in the inside of the sharp right-hander, but I'm not sure how that's Governor's fault.
Rybread then new fastest lap. Rybread up into P4 after that incident for Chile, and he's looking to hopefully catch up. I don't think he will with a gap of 14 seconds, but he's
Train goes very wide at the fast uphill left-hander out of the S's. Does lose a little bit of time to Emin. Emin still looking, hopefully to improve. I believe this will be his first podium finish in BeamGP, but will he look for more? Will he be feisty? And will he go for the damaged Train Raider? For P2, 5 minutes 25 to go, so he'll have to overtake and keep the position. He will be in slipstream. He's close enough, and he's going to be closing in smaller and smaller. We will see in which way will he move, which way will he dart. He'll pick the outside line, try and pick the inside line, and the overspeed gets Emin through by the time we even get to the braking zone. But Train will have to get back at him. He will have the inside line and makes the move pretty easily. He defends his position and keeps P2 for now.
So while you were saying that, I did a little bit of what's going on with Emin?
Emin on the right hand side going for the move. on the right-hand side. The apex is quite important here. We'll drift a little wide. Train Raider will look for the switchback and keeps the position for now, but they are side by side going into the S section, but now Emin will tuck in behind Train for now. Probably the safest bet going through these S section. The great... Yeah, they're fine on my screen. I'm not sure what's... But we will still try to report to you the battle, where Emin is not looking for this battle to come undone and leave it all up to Train. A bit of a lockup by Emin into the right-hander. You have to avoid that inside curve to avoid the tire popper that Chili got from earlier on in the race. On the back straight now, Emin, I think, closer to Train this time, so it might see him try something different. He's 6 behind. Train's keeping the left-hand side of the track. Hopefully, probably Emin hoping for Train to move across. But there we go, Train moving back into the slipstream. He'll look down the inside once again, hits the curb. Emin a bit loose on the exit, but Train will have a compromised exit into the chicane. Out of the chicane, my apologies. Onto lap 9 we go. Emin looking for the outside, looking for the inside, looking for any gap he can. Looking for the inside again. Will he learn from his mistake on lap 1? Will he make a move? That will stick going into turn 1. He goes very deep, but Train has gone a bit slower than he wants to. But he does have the inside line side by side into the corner. Train goes onto the curb and Emin's flipped! Emin has flipped over on the curb. I knew that curb was going to catch someone out, and it was Emin, unfortunately, and it's now stuck. That loses him out on the podium position to Rybird. Rybird takes P4 now, or takes P3 away from Emin. Emin got a bit greedy, but he does manage to keep the car going, luckily enough, so he doesn't have to tow and lose on lap. But that's still P4 for the driver. That's very unfortunate. That curb is quite high there. Train is also spun into the gravel and he's out. He's got to tow like Chili. That's a very interesting place to have that happen. Emin jokes out it's a car popper. And then noticing Emin did tow back to pits. He did have too much damage. I don't know what happened on your screen there. I just saw a car up in the air. But Train managed to keep the car on track. Robert up to P2 now. And after both of the drivers ahead. Luckily enough, what on earth? Luckily enough, Finn's out for him. 2 minutes to go. Yeah, I'm just looking and I'm like, well, something tells me the car is a bit broken. Yeah, that will result in Emin being in P4. Aaron may be on for a career best P4 finish. If he managed to get Emin hopefully will be able to keep him behind. Train around the final corner, still in P3 now, after the little kind of scare in the vast right-hander. We have about this lap and the next lap to go on the penultimate lap here at Road Atlanta. Hopefully, we'll see no more crashes, but going there. Been quite commanding this race. We haven't really talked much about him, but he has quite commanded over this race, and hopefully we'll be able to keep it ahead.
On board with Aaron then, 3 seconds behind Emin, is slowly losing a little bit of time, but it's a very little bit deep into turn 10. Hopefully they can keep it within the white lines. Is that Sunboy going off again? Yes, it is. That is a lot of damage. He's going very slow at the support pit lane area. Wonder what's happened to Sunboy. It's really not a good showing for him. Hopefully he can have a better few races in a few weeks' time. But certainly today is not the best showing from him.
Quite unfortunate to see. We've seen him all over the track. We've seen him up in the air on your screen even. Is that Governor going off? Or is that just a bit of desync?
Desync.
Okay, good. Governor is coming through the S's now. He's quite commanding lead. No real battles going on at the minute. Everyone's kind of in their own little area. Train goes off once again to Kane. Chili might be able to catch up to him. It won't matter because he's a lap down.
That's just really bad luck for Chili, that. I've got no words.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Like, it's just how the turntables, and unfortunately, he was victim to the tire popper, and nothing much you can do about that incident, like, is just something that happens, and you just kind of have to deal with it. But he still should be happy with the result. He still was one of the fastest drivers out on track today. But Governor still not a mistake made, I don't think, in this entire race, and will easily just come home and just pick up scraps. Like, that's all you need to do is just survive in these races, and you will do well. It is quite important for you for the championship. But Governor will slowly come across the line. Don't know what he's doing.
He's got 9 seconds to spare.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's stopping, and he rolls across the line to win here at Royal Atlanta. Ryberg comes across the line, 4 seconds adrift in P2 with the fastest lap of the race. He had pace. Don't know what Governor was doing at the end. I'm not sure if that's very legal, but anyway, we see Happy Dolphin now coming across the line for P9, unfortunately. Chilean. Oh no, it's not Train, it's Sunboy. Jesus, Train's been struggling a lot on that last lap, but he will come across the line for a almost quite scrappy P3 in all fairness, but it is a P3 nonetheless, 37 seconds away from the leader. I'm sure he'll be a bit devastated for that. He has pace to be better, but circumstances be circumstances. You can't really do much about it.
Yeah, well, it was a good battle for the first half of the race. Unfortunately, a couple of incidents with other drivers, and the map took that massive battle away from us. Watching Aaron then coming across the line, and that makes the last of the drivers who have to cross the line.
Finish your finishing results now, if we have them.
Yep.
We've Governor taking the win here. Race 2 at Royal Atlanta, followed by Rybride with the fastest lap in P2, Train in P3, Emin, and I believe a career best P4 in these open wheelers. Aaron P5 on, I believe, his second ever race, which is nothing to scoff at. Chile P6, a lap down. Unfortunately, Alex also a lap down, P7. Sunboy P8 after a lot of incidents. Happy Dolphin P9, and Ark and Space Invaders both DNF in position 10 and 11. It's unfortunate to see a couple of DNFs, but from all the other drivers, they kept their heads high and still wanted to drive. But yeah, interesting 2 races. I knew that Royal Atlanta would spike up some chaos, but I believe that is a lot more chaos than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, that knocks you down out of the championship lead then, Nova. Govinda in the current lead of F4 Europe with 72 points. Your next P2, 71 points. Timmy then is P3, and you can see the rest of the scores on the screen. Well, we've had 2 absolutely phenomenal battles here today in Road Atlanta. And well, we've only got one person who wants to have an interview. Oh no.
Don't think much people want to talk about the multiple incidents, but we have one of Happy Dolphin. So we bring him up?
Might as well.
For a little interview. Hello, Dolphin.
There we go, finally can select you. Hello, Dolphin. Well, you've had a pretty good couple of races there. Well, actually, no, you've had a couple of races there, 15-minute races. Could have gone a little bit better, but, well, you had at least a couple of battles throughout those times. So how would you sum it up for you there?
I believe his mic might be having some issues, unfortunately. So there we go.
To my headset, and I was trying to change it.
No worries. We can hear you now. Hello.
Hello.
So you've had a couple of races there around Road Atlanta. You had at least a couple of battles. How would you sum up those races for you?
Well, the first one went perfectly. Everybody aligned for me to not crash. And then in the second one, I was suffering from a big lack of talent. So, yeah, first one was really good. Second one was really bad, but I didn't really have any crashes, so could have been worse.
Well, people are now starting to see you as a very serious person to do battles with, and very serious person to compete with, and they see you as a threat now. Surely that must be really good to hear and fill you with a little bit of ambition to keep going, even after a couple of difficult races such as the last one there.
It certainly does. It's also quite scary because that was my 10th and 11th race, and there's people like Chili that are platinum that have a lot more experience. I have to figure out how to be able to battle with them fully and keep up with them.
Yeah, well, that is all part of racing, and I'm sure you'll do just well at that. No, but do you have any more questions?
No, just... Yeah, I'm not good at questions, I'll be honest.
Well, you've certainly got a little bit of experience to learn, but that all comes with doing these races. I certainly think that you're certainly up there in speed, so don't worry. I think you're doing pretty well how it is. Happy Dolphin, everyone. I will let you go and celebrate with your team and your people.
All right, thank you.
So, Nova, after that, how would you sum up that race for you?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was interesting, to say the least. Like, I'm not sure how else to say it. It was a bit of a chaotic 2 races, which admittedly I was expecting from the race, but yeah, we will see how the finale goes next week at Canadian Tire, which I don't believe we have. Well, that's a different story entirely.
Well, certainly something to look out for, which you can do in the Discord. Just head over to discord.beamgp.com if you'd like to sign up for a racing license. If you'd like to have a look at the races that we've done or join in watch races in the future, youtube.com/@Beam Grand Prix. And if you'd like to have a look at any of the information on our website, such as the live timing, just head over to beamgp.com. We have a few more races this weekend. Coming up in an hour, we have the IndyCar race at Indianapolis. In 3 hours, we have the Hypercars at Suzuka. In 5 hours, we've got Formula 4 Americas at Homestead Miami Speedway. And then in 8 hours, midnight UTC, we have Covert Cup America at Watkins Glen. All of those are available to sign up for in the Discord, so certainly make your way over there and get your free rookie license today. Well, I don't quite think that there's anything else, so unless you've got any further notices to say to the people, I think we will let them head on.
Yeah, but just have a good day, I suppose, and hopefully we'll see you later back for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
So, thank you for watching, and without further ado, we will say goodbye, and it's been lovely. We'll see you next time here on BeamGP TV.